Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful day here at River Landings Motor Coach Resort in La Belle, Florida. And today I actually spotted the top 7 nicest RV paint jobs that I have ever seen, all here in one place. So Liberty Coach behind me is an artist series, and I'm actually with Dean Laux, the artist behind this design. Dean, what is going on here?
Hey everybody, good to see you again. Well, this is one of a very few, what is it, number 6. So we have an artist series with Liberty Coach, which means it takes extra time, lots of extra time. We have to prep it specially, we have to paint it specially, and you're gonna see the detail here real quick. Oh, it just flows.
This coach is unlike anything I've ever seen, the amount of detail when we get close to it. So the first pattern that I kind of want to point out here is this pattern here.
It's like an abstract painting on a vertical surface.
Yeah.
Abstract painting, you know, in a stripe area. One time, that's the way it looks. The whole thing is different. One side slightly different than the other. It can be darker or lighter, but it's still got a pattern on it that's very unique and different.
There's just so many different levels of ghosting.
Some of these paint jobs you have to see from far away, and then they make sense and they all flow. As you get up close, you go, oh, what is that? It doesn't make any sense. Well, it doesn't make sense here, but it makes sense back there. So we've got almost like a gold pin with this great bronze color with the pattern going on and the stripes.
Yeah.
And then in the background, you have a cooler color with this pattern that's going on throughout. This pattern happens to have a lot of energy to it. It's got more angular lines.
Yeah.
It's not soft and swoopy. It's got energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just looks, that's just phenomenal.
It really is, yeah.
You can't, you just can't make that.
I don't even know how many colors are going on here.
Well, you know, for each fade, for a color to go from transition from one color to another, you need about 15, 20 colors.
Yeah.
So if you counted up all the different colors that we have probably 30, 40 colors of paint to make it all work. This grayish tone, the grayish tone goes into white back here. That's still the same background color. So to get that white, you'd have a white color, you'd have a gray color, you'd have about 20 colors in between.
I could stop and stare at this coach all day, but we got 6 more awesome coaches we got to show you guys. Before we show you those other coaches, I got to show you how cool this RV resort is. How cool is this, that there's a covered RV site and then there's this cobblestone driveway right here that goes right out to a boat dock. This is the coolest RV resort I have ever seen. A lot of you got a chance to see a video where I actually saw this while it was at Liberty Coach in Stuart, Florida. And I think at that time I said that this was my favorite paint job at the time. And seeing it here at an RV resort, I'm seeing it in a totally different light than when it was inside there. And it's just so stunning.
Uniqueness with this one. The colors, what you think is white, it never really goes to white. Well, the pins are white, you know, here. But you can see how much different this is than the pin color, you know?
Yeah.
This here is so much darker, and when you stand back, you almost feel like it's a light colored coach, but when you really see what white is, it's really way off, it's darker. So
Yeah,
that's pretty unique and different. We've got the razor wire going on with a unique shape. We got a pattern and a stripe, which is different. The pattern came from an alligator.
Really?
Alligator skin.
Nice.
Yeah. So then you got 2 different colors of pins, which starts to be even more difficult to paint, because not only do you have to put that color down, you have to get that one down, you have to get them covered up and then start painting in between. But so that cream color is nice for a pin.
Absolutely.
And that's, you know, around some of the stripes have cream and some of them have white cream. And then you got the alligator skin again. We got the film through the windows, all the pattern, everything, and that all has to be painted.
What's going on up front here?
Well, There was a customer request for a fleur-de-lis, and we have it right here. And you'd have to know what the fleur-de-lis looks like, and then you'd have to know enough about it to pick up on it that's there. So that's what's cool, is it's there, but most people don't even know it's there. When I had it on there originally trying to make it melt in, when it was just solid, it just stood out and you could see it. The idea was, let's have it there, but let's not let anyone just see it walking up. You'd have to know about it. You'd almost have to look for it. So that's,
Yeah.
By putting that pattern back in, you know, the outline of the fleur-de-lis is there, you know, as it comes through here, but it's all broke up in another pattern, which looks like kind of the rest of it.
So a lot of you longtime subscribers may remember this coach. Dean and I actually filmed this coach and talked a little bit about this coach while we were out in Sturgis. The video was titled Best Paint Jobs of Sturgis, I believe. Coach pops. When we came around the corner just now, it just pops at you. What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know, but I find an attraction to this. I find myself just really loving this paint job.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's a lot of neat things with this. This is just a stunning coach. This is over the top. Love the blue. And I'll tell you, when we had this in the shop, as a designer, and you think you want to do something and you push the limit, but you can't go over the line because it'd just be too much. When this was in the shop, that blue was bright because there's big areas of it being painted. And there's big areas until you tape it off and you spray another color around it, and then they get smaller. So I'm like, oh my, this is bright. There's a lot of blue, but look how it come together. It's just absolutely perfect.
Absolutely.
I mean,
yeah.
just the right shades of the gray. Again, there is a reason, because you just can't use too much in any one area. It's just everything's got to work right, just like a song again. You know, you got the melody going, the background, you got the bass, you got the trebles, and it's just, at the end, it's just a great song.
This is another award winner. If Bus Coach Paint Jobs had the Grammys, this one would win for sure.
Right next to all the others we just
Exactly. Exactly.
What are these? You know, you stand back and look at it, it just works. But what are they? Where they come from?
Yeah. No, I didn't even realize those were there.
Those lines without seeing the rest of it, because with everything together, it all works. But those wouldn't make much sense if they were the only thing on the bus. Right between, symmetrical. I mean, that's just cool and classy.
Yeah, and the shadowing, the ghosting, that pattern is so nice.
So I had someone ask me the other day, they're like, shadows are out. You know, that's like old school. It can't be old school. Everything will be in style in a different way. Use the same amount of it everywhere. You got to use it in different effects. So sometimes we got real light shadows and real small shadows. Other times we have thick shadows. But it gives an illusion of depth. You'd have the background, and let's say this is the background. So if that was a piece of paper, you got a white piece of paper, and then this is sitting on top of it. So you got two layers. And then if you come up here, you can tell this is on top of that. There's 3 layers. Then you got this stripe here sitting on top of that, it's 4. And then you've got those stripes sitting. So if these were all different layers that you had to cut out, you'd have 5 or 6 different layers that are giving you depth and dimension. You had to describe some of the paint jobs and tell, oh, it's got 7 different layers of depth and the colors, and we're gonna use the big flake here and this and that. All of a sudden someone's gonna go, oh, no, I don't want all that. It's gonna be ugly. The idea is to put it together in a way that no one knew that they could have it.
It's a little bit windy out here, so we apologize for all of the wind noise, but there's just so much great information that I'm gonna keep filming this just so you guys can hear all this great information.
What a great looking coach, huh?
It really is.
And this is classy and sporty. It's got some great angles. Just really stunning.
Yeah.
That red on it. Very unique pattern, very edgy, gives it some energy.
So much cool, intricate stuff going on. The different shapes, and is this like an abstract pattern or within? It's so...
Yeah, you know, it's just neat how they come around. You take patterns, you combine them, you change them, and it's just got to work with all the other lines.
Just another totally different, I don't know how Dean comes up with so many totally different designs that look totally different, but when you just look at them closely, there's just so much detail work going on and it all works really well.
Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Did you say totally? Or totally?
Totally. Dean and I had a chance to talk about this coach a little bit in a previous video, another stunning coach.
This is just a great standard paint job. I mean, it's just clean, the lines are clean, the way it flows. You've got these kind of piano stripes based on like piano wire.
Yeah.
So, boom, boom, boom. They get thinner as they go.
And then the circular, but they're not just circles, they're abstract circles as well.
Circles would be real easy. You could just go like that. This has a little more giddy up to it.
Absolutely. Just an absolutely
just
stunning
subtleties.
coach.
You see how dark? There's a red, darker red here, but this is lighter.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really know that last foot is of the stripe.
Well, and then I noticed too that it's darker here, but then as we go through the stripe, it gets lighter, and then it seems like it gets darker again. It's actually fading two different ways, multiple fades going on.
So then another interesting thing with this stripe that we were just looking at is see how thin it gets back here at the back, and then look how white it is, and it just keeps growing.
Yeah.
So it's not a standard line width.
Yeah.
Line thickness, I should say. Nice clean colors, clean lines, but there'll be thin ones, there'll be thicker ones. This has actually got times here where the stripe is thin and it's getting wider. That's what's great about this is the lines on this is different than the other ones we saw.
Yeah.
And they all kind of had their theme. So it's all mixed up in a very controlled, chaotic way.
So for some reason, this coach is way above and beyond anything else. And if you guys have watched previous coaches, I think this is my favorite paint job on any RV ever. Dean, you want to tell us what's so special about this one?
The blue. It's the right color, it's the right shade, it just works. Something very refreshing. This is an artist series, which means it's got a lot of extra time, and of course every one of them that I do for myself has extra time put in it. So years ago I didn't paint the trailer, I had the coaches painted, and then I'd go to a show and everyone asked me if I ran out of paint. So for this project I didn't run out of paint.
Yeah, his coach and stacker trailer, best looking coach and stacker trailer on the road in my opinion. And Dean and I went totally into detail. There's a couple of other videos where we went totally into detail about the paint job of this coach when we were up in Sturgis last year actually. So make sure to check out that video if you want to see a full tour of the inside of this coach and have Dean just talk about all of the crazy stuff going on. So
it's hard to figure out how to make it work. If you zoom in there and watch that move, see that? I don't want to do too much more of that area because it's gonna. Now I want the rim to move. So I need to get a little bit of this down here. It's happening right there. Look at that. It's just enough. It's going to keep pulling that back. This is moving up here now. Front of the car, I want it's hitting the wind, and I want that to be like grabbing into the painting, and the trailing edge of everything just gets into this blurriness of heat and speed and very detail. But I want it to happen naturally.
But hey, greatly appreciate all of you watching today's video. Thanks again. Hope you're all having a great day.
See ya.